talent that was on the roster at the time when she was there. Yet she was like so young. But it just goes to show you, you doesn't matter where you start. If it can be in anything. But I think if you get a load of matches under your belt, that sort of experience is priceless. Okay, quickly, Matt, the Battle Royal, I thought that was a lot better and all. I was not expecting this to be anything, I've got to be honest with you, but I quite enjoyed it. Sat through that and actually thought it weren't too bad. And Nia Jax winning, Matt, were any surprises there, or was that a good call? Is this going to, build her back? Because I felt like I wanted to see more with her and Ronda Rousey rather than what we got with Alexa. I just felt like Alexa Bliss was a real mismatch, and I'm not really sure they should have gone with that program as long as they did. But the first Nia Jackson match with Ronda, it was sort of, you could sort of half believe it because of her physicality and her size. Whereas Alexa Bliss, it was all about the kind of old school heel sort of tactics, which I just didn't think played out that great. But I did kind of enjoy the Nia Jax match that she had. What do you think to that, Matt? Is this a step in on the right direction for her again?
Yeah, I think so, and I did kind of expect her to win the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the two favourites was only really her or Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they've booked Asuka lately, she's all
We're
down
lucky.
the slope, so it wasn't going to be her. But yeah, I feel like it was pretty obvious as well the way results were going to head towards the end of the night. So Ronda was going to need an opponent that's actually credible, and when you look at it on paper, Nia Jax is one of the only ones. And it's mainly purely basically like the way WWE looks at it, like in her size, and think, okay, she's a match for Ronda just because she's harder for her to actually throw about the ring and maybe even put on submissions and that, which isn't the best reason to actually select her for your opponent, but it's good for Nia because it's where she needs to be right now. I mean, there was that time when she didn't even know what her future held in store for her, and she was even questioning it at times. So it's good to actually now she can actually believe in herself a bit more and actually take this. And who knows, maybe she will be the one to defeat Ronda. But I'm assuming WWE isn't ready to let that record slip yet.
No, certainly looks that way. But like I said, I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't as too bad. I mean, Battle Royals, you can only do so much with those matches sometimes. Everybody knows it's kind of the thing that, it's what you want to get everybody involved in if they can't be on the show. So you put them in a battle royal, but it's not as ideal. I especially dislike them at WrestleMania, really, nowadays. But there you go. Then we got probably the match that I thought was very meaningless, to be quite honest with you. Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya. Up against the Riot Squad. Matt, for you, what did you think of this? Did it, this for me? I mean, it was a good match, but I just felt there wasn't a lot to it. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I felt like they all had good chemistry on the night, and the match did come together well, and it was entertaining to watch. The only problem with that was, I'm sure I've seen this match on Raw, and even for a number of weeks, different combinations, be it one-on-one matches that they had or tag team matches. I'm sure I've seen this 6-women tag match with them women involved as well, which just did kind of take away from it a bit because you felt like he wasn't really getting something special, not something worthy of the first ever pay-per-view for women. It was just a throwaway match that could have been presented on Raw, and in fact, the next night over almost was, with the addition of a few extra women.
This show was good, it was solid, but what would have made this incredible would have been, we seem to have waited, I don't know how long, Sasha Banks versus Bayley. I thought by now, I said at SummerSlam maybe they'd have their match. I thought Evolution would be their match. They haven't had the match. I mean, and now they're doing a tag team thing. But if you wanted to really put at least have that. I mean, imagine the promotion you could have done with it being what they've already done 3 years ago. You haven't really got to do a lot to promote that. All you got to do is do it a little bit more serious. and this is going to be like the big of all rematches type of thing. But instead, they just had a throwaway match instead in a tag match that didn't do a lot. Really, doesn't really progress them anywhere, in my opinion. And this would have just been another sort of, if they could have built 4 big matches, i.e. both the title belts plus Sasha Banks versus Bayley, and one more, which probably would have been in the realm of Trish Stratus versus somebody singles maybe, but we didn't get that. So maybe you would have built it for that tag team match. Maybe that would have been enough. But if you'd have done something, I'm sure that would have had people turn up, but they just didn't give them enough reason to, in my opinion. And I really feel like that match, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, would have sold itself. And do something else with the Riot Squad, have them. I mean, if I was being honest, Matt, I would have preferred, it would have made more sense for me to have the Riot Squad, all 3 of them, against Trish and Lita. But, they didn't go that route. But that would have helped them. And they would have got a little bit of a rub off of those 2 legends going forward. But for some reason out of nowhere, Mickie James is brought in against Lita, which I still don't really understand how that all got made. But there you go, that's what we get. And then of course, Matt, we had the NXT women's title defended, Shayna Baszler. With the horsewomen came out, the other 2, they were sort of involved. But a good match for me. It wasn't sort of breathtaking, but I quite liked it, and it was nice to see WWE taking her. Seem to be doing a good job with Shayna Baszler and her character and everything. Like, they're doing a much better job than most of the girls on the main roster. Let's put it that way. The female talent there are just all over the place, but in NXT there is a real tier system, and I think that you can easily see Shayna Baszler is the one, whereas the WWE title holders, like other than Rousey and possibly Charlotte when she's got it, I think most of the others, they're always, even when Alexa Bliss held the belt, you're always thinking, they're not really the best, they're nowhere near, and you're just waiting for their cycle to end. Which happens a lot, especially when Carmella was a champ. So, was what it was. What did you make of it, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, another match that you knew was going to be great from the start, because every time they've met previously it's been pretty good. So I was expecting good things from this, and I wasn't disappointed. And much like you said, she is the future, because her talent down in NXT is undeniable, and I'm glad that they're actually using her to her full potential. But for me, the end result was a surprise, because I'm feeling like now she's more than ready to jump to the main roster. So I was expecting her to lose that and get a call up sooner rather than later, but looks like we'll have to wait a little bit longer for that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just a case of not having anyone else down there at the moment, who is going to take that mantle. It's not just you've got someone, but then again you've got to have opponents, and I just wonder if they're just waiting for that. But to be honest with you, unless they're really serious about her, I would leave her there, because I think when she's brought up, she needs to be somebody. I don't want to see an Oscar scenario. You think I'd rather Oscar in NXT than the Oscar we got now, quite frankly. I mean, it's almost like Oscar's become a cartoon of herself. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's become so gimmicky. It's like she's just a cartoon version of Oscar, and we're just she's doing things I've never seen her do. She's well out of the character, and it's just I don't know. I mean, I just feel like she was such a big force to begin with. Again, that's another person, Oscar, who could have had a big match on this show and sold it on that as well. But look what's happened there. She's in a freaking battle royal. Sort of says it all, really, doesn't it? Now the next match, Matt, of course, we have the Becky Lynch up against Charlotte Flair, and I think most people said, by far this was the match of the night, and pretty decent. I mean, a long match, just under half an hour, the actual full bell to bell, last woman standing match. I felt they both did an incredible job, and I think Becky Lynch, I'm glad WWE have stuck with her, because for a change they're going with the flow of what, I don't think this may have been the original plans, but I think they're going with the flow with this one, which is much better. Charlotte, she got, a lot of heat during that match, didn't she? But afterwards, she got the ovation and stuff. Like I feel like they're just going with this whole Becky Lynch thing, and they're not trying to sort of disguise it too much. Despite her reactions, I think this is doing Becky Lynch the world of good. So, what did you make of the first ever last women's standing match, Matt?
Well, for me, it was the best match of the night, and actually, I feel like it was kind of hard done by it, because I was kind of secretly hoping by this point that this would be the main event and actually get that final slot. Especially considering they were introducing a new first ever last women's standing match, so it is another step forwards. Not just a match that we'll talk about in a little while when you're bringing people from a previous generation, which isn't so glamorous from women's wrestling. So I was kind of hoping they would get the last shot, because I knew they'd be the best match, and I was, but it is what it is, and in the end, they want to showcase Ronda as the main star of the division, so we have to deal with that. But I feel like they did a really good job of working this out between each other, which I knew they would, because of course they are, to me, I suppose Becky and Charlotte are probably the two best actual physical wrestlers in the WWE right now. So not to say that they Becky maybe is not so great on the mic, but her ring skill is undeniable. So I'm glad they had that match together, and even though they were supposed to be friends, it's worked out as a really good feud, so it's all paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit like Matt, I would have preferred this on at the end, especially afterwards, the execution of it. But, maybe they were just doing the whole in their opinion, it was the heel winning type thing. Maybe that was why, I have no idea. But certainly they were going all in for this Nikki Bella thing, weren't they? But however, saying that, we did have one of our listeners go to the show, and he said that he couldn't believe the amount of Bella merch on people. Like, there was just tons and tons of girls, even guys wearing Bella all over them, so they still do have some huge following out there. I mean, it can't be denied, and apparently that was second to all Rousey's merch, which I've seen before when we've gone a few times. There is definitely a big call for that. So maybe, I don't know how popular Charlotte and Becky are with the sort of the overall, like maybe the star power. They just lack that a little bit. I think Charlotte could easily get that, but at the moment, I think Becky, give it another 6 months, she'll be at that level, because she's only kind of just started. But it was interesting to get that feedback that there was. He sent me like loads of photos, and I've never seen so many Brie mode stuff and Bella stuff. But obviously they are popular amongst people. So surprising as that is, surprising how long they've been out and they're still able to do that. So let's get to that main event. So we had Ronda Rousey defending up against Nikki Bella. The feud that I really hated the turn, because it was just like we already knew. But like I said, I did enjoy some of the mainly one show, that Raw where she was Ronda Rousey. It looked so much more comfortable for her, and her timing was spot on with the delivering those lines, because you can get good lines given to you, but then if you say them the wrong way and you don't pace yourself, it comes across crap. But I felt she done a very, very good job, and she waited for reaction from the fans. Timed it. Her timing was excellent, and it's a hard thing to get. It's not always comfortable for wrestlers to be able to know how to deliver a good promo and wait and be patient, because you're always in kind of a rush to get it out through nerves or whatever else, or remembering. But I felt she's been improving a lot more. Now this match again, I wasn't, I was a little bit like flaky about it, but to be honest with you, it was very watchable and I enjoyed the match. I won't say it was as good, obviously nowhere near as good as the last one. However, I did feel like they told the right story.